Hello guys, how are y'all doing? During this video, while I have a talk with you guys, you'll be watching a time lapse of me drawing a page for my most recent manga, The Money in the Amazona, which you can read for free at the link in the description. In today's video, I want to talk about finishing my first multi-chapter story. What's up, my name is Hugo. I've been creating professional manga for 6 years now, and despite that, there are just 2 stories that I would consider finished projects, and one of them is a one-shot, so that doesn't really count. So, the other story is the one you're watching me draw right now. You may be asking yourself, all of those years as a mangaka, and you could only try multiple chapters for a single story? Well, of course not. Before that, I had another project that I went on years creating and rewriting and put it on a hiatus. I called it Less Years. It was the classic case of a child project, a project that you treat as the most precious and unique thing, but it's not all that. And that's precisely why I never got to finish it. There were other reasons, of course, that stopped me from writing more chapters. My financial situation got a little rougher. I tried to get funds by many different means, and eventually even going back to school to get my architecture degree while I did commissions and participated in manga contests. But the biggest reason of why I didn't continue is because I was afraid of making a mistake with my precious story. And honestly, I got to a point in the story which I realized I didn't even want to tell it. It may sound so confusing, but I never took into consideration what kinds of stories usually interest me. It sounds so backwards, but I just had this cool concept, and when it came to elaborate and develop it in an alien world, I realized, wait a minute, I don't even like sci-fi like that. So when they finally got to the destination, I just couldn't come up with any plot that would excite me. That's what I got for not thinking about the structure beforehand. Well, at least I learned my lesson. This changed when I was commissioned to draw an African comic. They said that they would pay me directly to create it, and I would still keep all of my rights to the story, which I thought was too good to be true. And it was. You see, they didn't even understand their own policy. I think they just wrote that because it sounded nice. But I found out later, after the first chapter, that they didn't intend on letting me publish it wherever I wanted, which is fair, to be honest, but their policy said otherwise. So I contested that and screenshotted their terms and policies, and they just got mad and gave up on the story. At the time, I was bummed out about the whole situation for not being able to talk things through, but I decided to finish it anyways. I treated it as a side project, as a story that wasn't all that important, and I just wanted to see where I could go with it. And that was the best thing that could have happened. That allowed me to have fun with it while applying my experience and properly structure the story, finally. Also, I wanted to keep it short, and because of that, I was able to actually tell a multi-chapter story from beginning to end. So remember last year's? This experience gave me renewed interest to invest in my own pet project once again. But now, I knew that I couldn't just continue writing last year's from where I left it. Unfortunately, the foundation wasn't good enough. No, I had to restart it from zero with a brand new story and doing things properly this time, with a planned ending in mind and everything. However, I know that if I want to make a sustainable series, I need to sacrifice some polish, which is really hard for me to do. It couldn't be as pretty as these, and it would have to look more like this. It's not ideal. As a creator, you want to meet a professional standard, but if I can't make a living out of it, that would be the best that I could do for a long period of time. Well, unless I did make a living out of it. Recently, I found out that the platform Webtoons is making a contest for the best manhwa, which if I somehow manage to win, would help me to get a high quality to my comic and keep it long running. I have been drawing a one shot for this Webtoon contest that I would like to share with you on March, Until then, I need your help gathering as much of a following as I can so I can have a shot at winning this thing. The comic is basically a revamp of last year's basic premise, but with all new characters and settings and a whole new story on top of it. Humans live in a world completely dried up from resources up until a meteor crashed down and awakened nature. A new life cycle on Earth started, creating new ecosystems. Our protagonist will finally be able to see the true beauty of this world and won't let anything get on his way, not even his own peers. Many different groups have their own idea what to do with the new circumstances, and those ideas are bound to cause lots of conflicts. Next video, I'll introduce you to the characters. I'll be making a lot of videos about art and manga, so if you want to hear more directly from a pro, subscribe to the channel. Remember to also like and share, and let me know in the comments below what mangas and comics recommendations you have for me. I'm thinking of making first impression videos, so let me know if you have some recommendations. See you soon!